So he was one of the families that I invited, and he's.
Oh, that is so not true. But I mean, you're more comfortable with people that are having currently.
You know, the thought of going to Florida, or there's this cruise that we're going on to Mexico. I found that conversations have become awkward because it appears like.
We've talked a little bit about this before, and I've talked about it with other of your clients, other people that have reached a certain level of prosperity. They're friends, their circle of friends, except the lifelong ones. But generally that circle of friends changes a little bit. Why is that?
Yeah, it's kind of troubling.
Yes.
I've been a part of the National Speakers Association for many years, and I've been a part of that group for the most part because it's been a circle of friends, colleagues, that we all kind of think the same way, and we share common goals in growing our businesses. I've found that conversations have become awkward because it appears like I've left them in the dust instead of like, oh, you finally made it, and me helping them like, yeah, let's figure it out for you too.
Right.
It's been kind of this like awkward scenario of like they're not knowing how to talk to me, and that is really, really weird. And so admittedly, I don't want to go and have awkward conversations.
Yeah. In
the same association, there's $1 million speakers group, and being in that group, it's pretty cool that we can have conversation. In Florida, a friend of mine, a guy who's become a friend of mine, he mentioned in his business, yeah, I bought a domain. It cost me $40,000. A week later, somebody turned around and was going to offer me, 6 figures for this domain, but I have plans, and so I told him no. And see, I heard that, and I'm like, it is so cool that somebody can talk about big numbers like that, and it's not like I'm bragging about my wealth, or it's like, because money is such a taboo topic, it's great to associate with people that are in a similar place so we can just have a conversation and not have it be bragging, or not have it be like on different levels.
You're more comfortable with people that are having currently similar experiences as you, and you can relate to them in that way where it's almost like you're almost speaking parenthetically. With other people around, you say certain things, but between the few of you, I know what you mean in a different way.
I was a struggling entrepreneur for so long that I love having conversations with struggling entrepreneurs. I really love it.
Right. Yeah.
And I want to be able to talk about money and not have it be awkward.
Yeah.
Like talk about 7 figures, and I'm like, really, and so it is awkward. Another thing that I guess shouldn't be a surprise, but we've never really gone on vacations with friends. The thought of going to Florida, or there's this cruise that we're going on to Mexico. It would be cool to invite friends, and there's been a couple friends and their families that we've invited to join us. But when you've got different budgets, it's like it's kind of awkward. Like, do we pay? Do we help them out and pay for part of it?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. That's kind of an awkward thing. It would just be easier for somebody that could afford it, and So it's
I would just say yes. I mean, I mean that if they're really your friends, right? And money's an issue for them, but you want, because I think if I were in your position, I understand the relatability with other millionaires, kind of those things. I can't imagine them ever really being my friends, like only because we've only met each other because we're rich. And I don't think the other rich people would be as grounded as I think I would be, and I could be wrong. Maybe that's what everyone says, and then they get rich and they're not grounded. But if that were me in your situation, and I had some pretty close friends that I've had from before I was wealthy, I would just say, if you want to come, we would love to have you there. Well, we can't really, we got it. It's okay, man. You know what I mean? Like,
so he was one of the families that I invited, and he's.
Oh, that is so not true. But I mean, how fun that would be, though, to spend a cruise with people that, on a personal level, you're more connected with than just an intellectual. You have money, I have money. We can talk about money and not be uncomfortable.
And here's what I'm afraid of. What I'm afraid of is I don't want those friends to feel like that they owe me.
Right.
I don't want them to feel obligated, and I certainly don't want like what you see in the movies of they feel like, well, you've got all the money, why don't you just lend me some, or
yeah.
And so it's an awkward thing.
Yeah.
So on one hand, like I want to be generous, but I don't want to change the dynamic. Should I just not bring it up? should I just not bring up the vacation so they don't feel awkward? Or
Yeah, it's tough. I would imagine that after a while, it's less of just a general rule and more of a case by case. Just one off this event, this thing. These people. Let's feel it out and see how it goes. Because it's a burden, but every huge blessing has burdens associated with it, and that's yours to carry.
That was something unexpected.
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
Now, I have a gift for you. I want to give you a copy of my book for free. Now, you do have to pay the printing and shipping costs, just a minimal cost, but there's no profit to me. If you go to natesyoutubebook.com, that's my gift to you.